What's up, everyone, and welcome to Clear Talk. So in this video, we're going to be talking about Pam Bondi. Pam Bondi and her testimony hearing before Congress about the release of the Epstein files. This was a crazy hearing from everything that I've everything that I've been able to look at and see. Her basically just throwing a complete hissy fit in her testimonies and just completely deflecting and obfuscating every time any kind of confrontational question about the Epstein files was asked. And it was absolutely ridiculous. So thank you very much for joining me here. And if you are new to Clear Talk, welcome. If you'd like to check out videos from the other videos from the channel, please do so. Consider subscribing, like, share, comment, all that good stuff to get more videos in front of more people. If you'd like to check out videos from my other channels, JMDPLAY puzzling there. If you like what you see there, consider subscribing to those as well. That would be amazing to help grow those channels. Patreon there, $3 a month. You can support any of the channels that you would like to help grow those channels, help grow Patreon, help grow the JMD Nation, and contribute how you would like. Any contribution support you give is very much appreciated. I thank you very much. And if you're returning, you are freaking amazing. You are amazing. And I want you to know that. And thank you for coming back over and over and over again, because you are what makes JMD Nation. All right, so what you had, because of the just crazy ass release of the Epstein files, and we know the latest release of the Epstein files and how the DOJ has just blatantly went against the laws and stuff about the release of these files. As we've talked about previously, you had the redaction laws. That was simple redaction laws. Only thing that was supposed to be redacted by the DOJ was federal security names that would like affect the security of the United States in some sort of way, which is kind of general there. I mean, you could that one I kind of had a little bit of a problem with, but also the victim names. It was requested specifically for victim names to be redacted to protect the victims. Okay, and as we saw in this latest release, that was completely opposite of what happened. There was a whole entire client list of victims that was released completely unredacted. An email where pretty much only thing that was redacted on the email was the attorney's name on the email. A list of like 30-something victims that was released, completely unredacted. So that means that because one name was redacted, that means somebody actually saw this email and decided to redact, but did not redact the victims' names, and then allowed this document to be released with the release of the Epstein files. While there are other names, people that are association to Epstein and could be potentially convicted from the files content, that were redacted. It is absolutely just ridiculous, the disgraceful and disrespectful way that this DOJ, headed by Pam Bondi herself, has basically politicized this whole thing, protecting the Epstein files, not releasing them on time like they were supposed to, and continuously dripping out feeds of files way beyond what it was supposed to be. They were already supposed to be all completely released, but they keep holding on. And then, claims of, there's mistakes in the redaction, so they have to pull back and they have to under-redact, or they have to redact, or they have to take away and then put back and then take away and put back. It's completely showing complete incompetency of the DOJ and how they are handling, or how they're choosing to handle, the Epstein files. and then brings into question how they're handling any fucking thing else that they are doing, and how they're choosing to handle it. So it's absolutely crazy. So the Attorney General Pam Bondi had to testify before Congress, being questioned on all these actions, and instead of actually answering the fucking questions, she has before her what is, everybody's pretty much be calling it a burn book. It's basically a book with all of these members of Congress, or particularly, I'm pretty sure it was mostly just Democratic members of Congress, and basically listing out all these things that they, are claiming, or she was going to use as claims against these as, a way to deflect. Whenever they'd bring up something that, put into question something about the DOJ, or something about decisions being made, or something with Epstein's files, or whatever, she would not answer the question. She would just go to her burn book and start being, what about this person, or what about this thing that's going on in your state, or what about this thing that's going on? It's just like point. Don't ask me questions. I'm not going to answer them. I'm just going to point, and make up all these things that have absolutely nothing to do with what this hearing was supposed to be about. It was absolutely pathetic. Absolutely pathetic. Absolutely refusing to answer questions that are actually quite important to the decision making that is being done by DOJ in this whole issue around the Epstein files. And that it come off as if she was just simply trying to look strong and big to the boss man, to Trump himself. That's what it looked like. Like she thought she had the perfect answers that would make Trump go, "Yeah, girl, you did it. Yeah, that's my girl." Ha ha ha. Completely protecting everything around what is going on here. And the sheer I would argue fraudulent, corrupt, illegal processes that the DOJ is doing around the Epstein files. Simply put. I have a video here, though. This is some kind of big top moments that everybody is pointing to. And we're going to check it out. So here we are. Let's go.
Are you able to track who in your organization made this massive failure and released the victims' names? Are you able to track who it was that obscured Les Wexner's name as a co-conspirator in an FBI document? Do you have that kind of accountability?
We corrected that within 40 minutes. He was already, you're acting like everybody's trying to cover up Wexner's name.
Reclaiming my time.
I'm going to answer this question.
Reclaiming my time.
Mr. Chairman. This is how this works.
Can I have my time back?
Mr.
Chairman.
The gentlelady can give her answer.
Within 40 minutes, Wexner's name was added back.
Within 40 minutes of me catching you red-handed.
There was one redaction out
where
of
he's
over
listed as a co-conspirator.
And we invited you in. This guy has Trump
Gentlemen.
derangement syndrome. He needs to get, you're a failed politician.
Gentlemen,
You need to
I
get
want
on
you to
things
watch
that
the
matter.
video.
Chairman, please restore his time. And
Did you ask Merrick
That was against Massey. And what he's bringing up is how the fact that you had all these victims that were completely unredacted, the one simple thing that the law required was for them to be redacted, and to not redact individuals who are co-conspirators or anything like that, like not protecting them. And simply, she claims it was only one time that an individual that he brought up was redacted, even though he was in the files like over 4,000 times, supposedly. And it was only one time that he was redacted. I don't know, honestly, to the degree of whether or not it was one time or not. But that is the sheer point, is that you have a team of people that is redacting, decidedly redacting names here, names there on certain documents, on here, there, whatever. And there should be a screen, you would expect a screening process going on, that they would be going and doing these redactions in a strict way, in a screening process before releasing the files, that they were properly done. And yet you're having names released that were supposed to be redacted, names redacted that are not supposed to be redacted. And I don't even care if it was just one time. That means somebody purposely went in, saw this document, decidedly redacted this name, even though it is not a name that was legally supposed to be redacted. And it was done and then released. And we've seen this across the documents where clearly there would be different people with different ideas about how to redact or who to redact, because you would have one name redacted on one document, but then on another document, or even a copy of that document, that name would not be redacted. And so that there's this clear misunderstanding or inability to understand the rules and around who is to be redacted and what is to be redacted or where is to be redacted or anything like that. It's completely incompetent. And let's not forget that this administration has pedestaled itself on being an administration of merit, okay? Of putting people in place who deserve to be there, that have the skill to be there, that have the ability, the education, the wherewithal to actually perform their duties, because they have been merited to do so, not just thrown in there even though they don't know what they're doing, because of favors or blah, 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 or skin color or whatever the case. It's supposed to be a merited basis, but yet these people can't seem to do simple things. Can't seem to do simple things. It is absolutely ridiculous. It is absolutely ridiculous. Let's continue.
Garland, the last 4 years, did you talk about Epstein?
I am reclaiming my time. I'm glad you're asking about Merrick Garland.
You don't get to reclaim
because
time
this
when
is
you don't-
bigger
when
than
you can't-
Watergate.
when I don't answer a question the
This
way you
goes
want.
over 4 administrations. You don't have to go back to Biden. Let's go back to Obama. Let's go back to George Bush. This cover-up spans decades, and you are responsible for this portion of it.
And
that's the thing. That was the thing. Apparently, she continuously brought up Garland, which was the previous attorney general, and that was her constant throwback. Was, well, you didn't do this against Garland. You didn't do this against Garland. You didn't do this against Garland. And that could be I don't know to what degree they did or didn't do this to Merrick Garland, but nevertheless, this has been a problem and been going back, like he just stated, through all. We can blame this on all the previous administrations, including Trump's first administration, where none of them actually did and went through this like they should have, or not actually being judicial about this whole case for years now, for decades now. It should have already. It's ridiculous that that it has come this far. But the point was, in this hearing, was that regardless of what has happened before, and that shit's bad, it shouldn't have happened. She is the one responsible now. This administration is the one that claims that they were going to reveal, and they were perfectly open and solving this case and everything around the issues of it. And she is the head of the DOJ, and yet this is the way the DOJ is acting. And she's being defenseful and attacking instead of answering the questions, which just shows to most anybody with any kind of common sense that you're just trying to hide stuff. You're just trying to protect stuff, protect people, protect yourself. You're not actually willing. You're not actually being genuine in all the questions around the handling of these Epstein files. And that's what these questions simply are. These are Congress people who are representative of us. And they're asking questions that I'm pretty sure that simply most Americans are questioning around this. And so she's basically spitting in the face of any American who has this type of question, which, like I said, is more than likely most Americans, because most Americans have disagreed with how the Epstein files have been handled so far by this administration, as I'm pretty sure they would mostly agree of how they've been handled by previous administrations.
Pam Bondi, why did you shut down this investigation last July, and why have you not prosecuted former Prince Andrew?
I don't believe you asked Merrick Garland these questions when he was Attorney General and set before.
I agree with you.
You twice.
I'm reclaiming my time.
Never
I agree with
mentioned
you. I agree with you. During
Were
the
you not here
during
then?
the Biden administration, I called for people looking at Epstein files. Merrick Garland dropped the ball, as did Attorney General Bill Barr, as did Alex Acosta, a whole string of failures. But you are in charge. You have the power to change things, to hold these men accountable, and you're doing the opposite. You're protecting them.
I really think that is a
And that's the idea there. That's the idea. He brought up, yes, I actually did question, and I told them that they needed to be investigated. And previous attorneys and generals have done the same thing that you are fucking doing right now. They dropped the bar. They weren't doing what they were supposed to be doing. They were potentially defending and protecting the files, just like you seem to be doing right now. So you are not any different. While you keep bringing up about this, you're not doing any differently. That's the point.
graceful approach to the homicides of American citizens, and really does nothing to bring credit to your department. And Mr. Chairman, I would yield back.
Gentlelady yields back.
May I answer?
Attorney General can respond.
I find it interesting that she keeps going after President Trump, the greatest president in American history. And if they could maintain their composure, this isn't a circus, this is a hearing. I find it interesting she keeps going after Donald Trump. She doesn't say how much money she took from Reid Hoffman, did you? None. And nor did
Mr.
she
Chairman,
post
regular
anything.
order, please.
That was the way she attacked everybody. Any kind of question, she, instead of answering it, she would just bring up and point. Well, what about this? 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 Like they were the ones that was before the Congress to actually, testify on something, and that wasn't the point of this hearing. It's obfuscation. It's distraction. It's pointing the finger and not actually answering the questions. It's disingenuous. It's the whole act was disingenuous. If you're there to genuinely, to be honest, to be transparent, which she's claimed also in a lot of this, that it's the most transparent in administration. Trump, I love Trump, blah, blah, blah. Why are you so mad at Trump? It was a complete kiss ass to Trump, while completely just deflecting from answering any serious question about the Epstein files over and over again.
General Bondi, you apologized to the survivors in your opening statement for what they went through at the hands of Jeffrey Epstein. Will you turn to them now and apologize for what your Department of Justice has put them through with the absolutely unacceptable release of the Epstein files and their information?
Simple thing. A simple thing. Just simply apologize. It is not complicated. It was a part of your job to make sure that they were protected. And your department dropped the ball and released their names. They'll make a point in here that there's a number of victims in this hearing. And through all of this process, this current DOJ has not once reached out to these victims to get any kind of testimony from them or hear their story or anything like that. While these victims have over and over and over again reached out to try to do so. And this DOJ has either denied or ignored those requests. And then turns around and releases a list of names unredacted and information. Completely disgraceful. And all you got to do is simply just be like, you're right. You're right. We apologize. It was wrong. We should have caught that. I mean, you could come up with all kinds of, even if it's just BS, you come up with all kinds of things to say in an apology, simply put. And that's what any reasonable person would think that's probably a good thing to do here. But what does Pam Bondi do instead?
Congresswoman, you sat before, Merrick Garland sat in this chair twice.
Attorney General.
Merrick Garland again. Merrick Garland again.
Bondi,
No, can I finish my answer?
No, I'm going to reclaim my time because I asked you a specific question that I would like you to answer, which is, will you turn to the survivors? This is not about anybody that came before you. It is about you taking responsibility for your Department of Justice and the harm that it has done to the survivors who are standing right behind you and are waiting for you to turn to them and apologize for what your Department of Justice has done.
Members get to ask the questions, the witness gets to answer in the way they want to answer. The Attorney General can
That's
respond.
not accurate, Mr. Chairman.
Because she doesn't like the answer.
Time.
So,
Mr. Chairman,
why
I have asked
didn't
a
she
question.
ask Merrick Garland this?
I'm reclaiming my time, and when I
will
reclaim my
continue to
time,
answer.
it is
Mr. Chairman, the
my
gentlelady has
I'm
reclaimed her
not going
time.
to get in the gutter for her theatrics.
Not going to get in the gutter for her theatrics. So she's basically just refusing. Just refusing. It was just so simple. It's just so simple. It's just so simple of a request. It wasn't like Jayapal was trying to throw her under the bus or something. It was just, look, your department made a mistake. You have representation of victims right behind you. Could you simply just apologize to them? Because they have not received an apology from the DOJ for the actions that were taken by the department. They have not received an apology on that. And you are the head of the department. You are the responsible one of any actions that come out of this department. That's what you're merited with. And she just simply asked, could you just turn and apologize to them? Simple thing. And she refused to do so. Instead of doing so, she just starts pointing the fingers. Oh, well, you didn't ask these type of questions of blah, blah, blah. You didn't ask these kind of questions of blah, blah, blah. That's because Merrick Garland didn't release the fucking names of the victims. Merrick Garland wasn't appointed or wasn't under lawful release of these files and how they were supposed to be done. Merrick Garland this has nothing to do with him. The process in which the DOJ has released and done with the Epstein files right now in this procedure is solely under Pam Bondi. None of this happened under Merrick Garland. Even though I completely agree it should have. But that has no bearing right now on what's going on right now. That is solely on Pam Bondi, and she is refusing to take accountability for the actions of her department and the irresponsibility of it. It's a simple thing. It's a simple thing. It's a simple thing. And why are we hammering on this? Because this department, this administration, again, is trying to act like they are the savior of America. That they are doing everything, all actions that they're doing is in the protection of Americans and making America great again and all these kinds of things. They're a merit-based administration. People there that knows what they're doing and they're there for reason and purpose, and are qualified, skillful, and blah, 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 blah. Well, we know that that's complete BS. And this is just another extension of actions by the administration that show the incompetence of this administration. That it's complete meritlessness. These people should not be over the departments that they're over. Because they are not merited in those departments. And they are making complete, horses' asses of said departments. They look like buffoons, like morons, like idiots, like people who don't know what the fuck they're doing. She's doing it with the DOJ. Kristi Noem is doing it with the Department of Homeland Security. And you can go department, and they're all doing the same thing. Hegseth's doing it with the Pentagon. What's her name? Completely destroyed the Department of Education, but that was on purpose. We know that. These people, they're pathetic. And everything that they claim that they are doing for the benefit of America is just bullshit. Because they're not.
How much do you think the claims of these survivors are worth? As the good congressman from Kentucky just pointed out, there were lots of survivors who had decided, for reasons of their own, never to release their names. That determination was represented to people in Congress, and we built it into our federal law that their names could not be released, and yet you published their names, their phone numbers, their addresses, personally identifying information. If Donald Trump can get $10 billion, theoretically, from the Department of Justice, how much should these people get for a far worse violation of their privacy rights and a far greater danger established to them in their lives?
Do you even know who Chase Mulligan is? You're so obsessed with, you don't, do you?
I'm going to teach you the rules again. You're the Attorney General of the United States. We have rules here.
You're obsessed with him.
You're the Attorney General of the United States.
With obsessed with Donald Trump.
This is what we have. This is what we have running the DOJ. This petty ass, Karen-like, coddling Trump's nuts sycophant doing everything with the DOJ and how they are handling any case in the protection or by the direction of Trump and what he wants. It's not about actually finding justice in a nonpartisan, just rules of law way. It's going after opposition and protecting those that they want to protect. That's what this is. That's what this is. And if this was any other fucking administration, if this was Biden, if this was Obama, if this was fucking Clinton or anybody else that you don't agree with or don't like or whatever, and they had done the same shit, Republicans, MAGA, they would be all over this shit talking about how corrupt and fraudulent and fake they are. But yet this administration does this, and they're like, yay! Love Trump. It's complete bullshit. You have no consistency in your argument, in your morality, in your justification or acceptance of what's allowed and what's not, or what you agree with and what's not. You just keep moving the goalpost over and over and over again. And I can't, it's like every video I'm going over, I'm showing you how you are moving the goalpost over and over and over and over again. You are apologizing for everything that this administration does. And for what? Just to be a part of the cult? Just to be a part of the group? I'm a groupie. Yeah. I mean, what is it? What is it? And if that wasn't bad enough, the Congress requested for the ability to access the Epstein files, unredacted versions of them. So it was set up for them to be able to do so. And there were a number of congresspeople that went to it's like a specific location, specific computer, whatever, where they can access the unredacted files so that they could view things, in a secure way. And it was released that Pam Bondi here in her burn book had search history where these Congress people had went in and did searches on the documents where they were searching for whatever it was, specific names or situational things, whatever they were searching for. She has in this burn book a list of the Congress people who have went in this practice that they are allowed to do to look at these the unredacted versions. They apparently took keystroke search and listed out all the things that these Congress people have searched as a way of holding like search data. Personal search data on this machine so that they could point out, hey, you searched this and you searched that, or just to know what they were interested in, what they were most concentrated on, so that they would know how to respond however she wanted to decidedly respond to anything. It's crazy. You have secret surveillance and data collecting that's what you're focused on. You're focused on collecting data and information on what these Congress people are searching, what they're interested in when it comes to these documents, over actually performing your operations effectively and efficiently and under abiding by the laws that have been laid out for you to do so. You're more concerned with what these Congress people are searching about in the unredacted versions than you are of protecting victims. Than you are of even apologizing to victims for your incompetency. It just further shows the priorities of this DOJ that is headed by this woman. And it's ridiculous. It's absolutely ridiculous. It's unprofessional. It's unlawful. It's corrupt. It's fraudulent. And this whole entire process further shows that this administration is doing whatever it can to bend the laws, to push back on the laws, so that they can protect as many people as they can protect. I just want to show one more thing, though. This is like a whole 2 hours and something, but this is something that this popped up right after that video and shows, this is something that this Mr. Nagusi or Nagu, I don't know what his name is. I don't even know who he represents. But he was bringing up a very interesting point. This is just an addition, and this has nothing to do with the Epstein files, but it does have to do with people that have been hired in this department that were indicted and charged from January 6th. And it's just very interesting. It's very interesting. I'm gonna play it real quick. This argument and how she rebuttals even about this.
Works for you now, right? That man works for you now, right?
Who was that, Congressman?
The man in that video, the one who was in the police-worn body cam footage, the one allegedly yelling, "Kill him," at police officers on January 6th, his name is Jared Wise.
He does work for us.
He works for you at the Department of Justice.
He does.
This is an individual whom a federal grand jury indicted for 2 felonies and 4 misdemeanors related to his participation in the attack on January 6th. One of those charges was forcibly assaulting, resisting, opposing, impeding, intimidating, and interfering with police with the intent to commit another felony. This is who you choose as the chief law enforcement officer of the United States of America to hire at the Department of Justice. Someone on video yelling, "Kill him," at police officers, right?
I believe he was pardoned by President Trump.
Oh, he was pardoned.
That's her rebuttal. It's okay because he was pardoned by Donald Trump. He was pardoned. So it means everything that he did is just erased. Trump took an eraser. He took an eraser to that video and that evidence and what that guy did and just said, poof, it's gone. He never did it. So he's good. He's good. Let's hire him at the DOJ. He's exactly who we want. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? That's your excuse for hiring an individual that was at January 6th, caught on camera, saying to kill police officers. He was indicted in conspiracy to create violence or whatever he said there on a police officer. Inciting, interfering with operations, all these things that they make claim is what's been happening, in Minnesota and all these other areas. Reason why it's okay that, protesters have been attacked, have been killed, all these, like this, he was pardoned. So he's good. It's okay.
You're right. You're right. Pardoned by President Trump for his offense, pardoned for yelling "kill him" at police officers. And yet you expect hardworking police officers across the country to believe that you take law enforcement seriously. You could imagine the reaction of so many folks across the country hearing the chief law enforcement officer of the United States refuse to even condemn what that individual whom you've now hired did. But in any event, let's talk a little bit about some of the other divisions within the Department of Justice and what's happened over the last year. You're familiar with the Public Integrity section of the DOJ's criminal division. I think it's referred to as PIN. Is that right?
Yes.
Okay. Do you know which presidential administration under which the PIN was first created?
I can tell you what administration that the weaponization was ended under.
I'll reclaim my time. This wasn't a trick question.
You don't get to
Madam Attorney
reclaim
General.
your time. It
Madam
was-
Attorney General,
Because I don't like.
Mr. Chairman,
I
will
don't
you explain to
answer
the witness
question
that
the way
he
you'd like
does
it?
reclaim his time?
Because I don't answer a question to your satisfaction.
Mr. Chairman.
Madam Attorney General, the time belongs to the gentleman from
You didn't answer
The
the question at all.
president under which PIN was created was Gerald Ford. It was created after Watergate. I'm not asking a question, Madam Attorney General. The administration under which it was created was Gerald Ford. When you first started as the Attorney General of the United States, there were 35 people working in that office. There are now 2 people working in that office because you have gutted it. How many people work for the National Cryptocurrency Enforcement Team in the criminal division today?
Can I answer the question about PIN?
I've asked you a question. How many
You've
people
asked me
work?
a question, but you don't
How
want
many
the answer.
people
I'm
work
not
for the
gonna answer your
National
questions the way you
Cryptocurrency
want.
Enforcement Team? You won't answer how many
I'll
people?
answer PIN.
You.
PIN will not be
you know what?
weaponized.
You know what?
What's
Madam
funny
Attorney
about
General,
this?
I'll say to the chairman.
What's funny about this?
Chairman, you know what the answer is? And I think I
What's
understand
funny
why the
about
Attorney General
this?
does not want to answer the question. Because you eliminated the National Cryptocurrency Enforcement Team last year. So I understand why you don't want to tell the American people who works there.
Yeah, I
no one
understand
works
why
there
you don't want to
anymore,
talk about
Madam
Mohammed
Attorney
Solomon
General.
in
So,
your district.
In any event,
who
I would
murdered people.
Mr. Chairman, will you stop the clock so his time is not wasted by
I've
the
been
witness?
very generous with allowing extra time when we have these little disputes.
I understand.
You got the time, Mr. Magoo's.
I might as well ask the chairman these questions.
I'd be happy
because
to answer
what
some
is
of your
fun-
questions.
what's profound, the questions I've
Profound?
asked,
The crime in your
I've
district.
asked, Mr. Chairman, are not trick questions. They're not gotcha questions. They're actually basic questions about how the Department of Justice functions. And the unwillingness of this Attorney General to answer them in good faith. When a member of Congress asks how many people work at the National Cryptocurrency Enforcement Team, and the Attorney General refuses to answer it, it is not a coincidence. It's because she eliminated the team. Why? Because her boss, the President of the United States, is making money hand over fist, $1.4 billion over the course of the last year through cryptocurrency holdings. I think what is happening at the Department of Justice is a disgrace, Mr. Chairman, and I would urge you to gain control of this hearing.
That is incredible. That was incredible. And it just shows further that she's completely disingenuous and doesn't want to answer serious questions that have to do with her department and how they're handling who they're hiring or what they are eliminating within the department. When it all revolves and it's clear that it all depends on what the big boss, like he said, wants and how he's benefiting from it. The department has been weaponized. It has been weaponized for Donald Trump. And that is blatantly clear in this testimony. Or an attempt at a testimony by the Attorney General, Pam Bondi, about the Department of Justice and how they are handling anything from hiring to department shrinkage. It's a weird way to say that, I know. Or the Epstein files or any whatever. She clearly doesn't like to be attacked, doesn't like to be held responsible for actions of her department. So she just deflects refuses to answer. And it was clear when I was watching, and when it come to a Republican congressperson that was questioning her, and they would be kissing on her ass and allowing her time to answer back at, opposing or Democratic Congress people and their questions over and over and over again. Or the Republicans would just be, not even really asking her questions, but having her talk about all these wonderful things that Trump has done. It's a fucking clown show. It's a fucking clown show by the Republicans in this administration. It's a clown show by Pam Bondi here. And like I said, if this had been done by anybody else, if this is done by a Democrat, it would be a fucking clown show. And I would say so. I have said so. It's simple. You're being asked simple questions. Fucking simply answer them. If you're not answering them, then clearly you're just protecting or defending the department and its actions in a way that's disingenuous. She looked like just a typical basic Karen here, which apparently she is. Yeah, this was a pathetic performance. And even, I mean, to the point that even this is something that's done like in the middle of the day when nobody's really fucking watching cable news or regular, the Fox News's, CNN's, this, whatever, NBC, all this good. This is being broadcasted, C-SPAN here for this one. Like, this is being even Fox News, as much as they should favor this administration, was reported as cutting away from it because even they couldn't even they recognized that she was flailing and just throwing a tantrum. It's pathetic. It's pathetic. But that is what this administration is. And everybody in it. But let me know what you think. Till next time, peace. Clear Talk. I'm out.